CNN's Kyung La is live for us in Los Angeles. And Kyung, what are the exceptions here? And do Californians seem to be abiding by these new rules?
Well, let's start there on who's abiding by these rules. Largely what we have seen in these first hours, these first 12 hours of Governor Newsom's stay-at-home rule, it certainly appears to be the case. You can see that there's one group of people over there, but generally every single retail shop on this block, everywhere that we have been, has been completely closed. The exceptions have been, as we just heard from Shimon, very similar here in California: hospitals, banks, and restaurants where you can take out the food. You can see this one says open 9 a.m. This is Slur Coffee Shop in Los Angeles. And the owner here, Patricia Vigneault, says that she's complying with the rules. She is making sure that no one is able to sit here in the dining room, but people are going to be able to come in, grab their coffee, and leave. That is something that is allowed under the governor's order. So why did this come about? Well, Governor Newsom says he simply did the math. And when he did that, if you look at where the infection rates are happening in the state and the rate of it, in 8 weeks, the governor was estimating that more than half of the residents in the state would be infected with the coronavirus. And I also want to refer, Jake, to something that Caitlin was talking about, the question that she and Peter Alexander asked the president about fear. That actually hits home right here. Patricia says that her employees here are scared. She's also scared. She wants to help flatten the curve. So she is going to close. Even though she doesn't have to completely close, she's going to do that. And what we found here is that she's selling off all her supplies. It's essentially a fire sale by this small business so that she can comply with the government and close and try to help flatten the curve, Jake.
All right. Well, while we're talking about the personal note there of fear expressed by the woman you spoke with, we've been hearing about these horrific instances of anti-Asian discrimination, racism, xenophobia because of the coronavirus, because it originated in China. And you and I talked about this. You said it was okay for me to bring it up. You had an unsettling encounter today while out reporting on this story.
Yeah, I think it's been since elementary school that I haven't heard it directly to my face. It's something that you see on social media frequently, especially if you're an Asian American reporting on controversial or even non-controversial news items. And so we were standing there preparing for live shots this morning, just hours ago, and a man walked up and used a racial slur, slung it right at me. And I was so surprised and so taken aback that I asked him to repeat it because I couldn't believe it. So it is something that is happening. And what I find most surprising is that it's happening in front of our faces, directly at people. That is something that I have not experienced in a very, very long time in this country.
Well, I'm so sorry you experienced that. And I would just like to note that if you are stupid and racist enough to be holding random individuals of Asian descent responsible for a pandemic, then you should be self-quarantining from society anyway. So that's what I have to say to that idiot. Kyung La, thank you so much for your explanation.